Yeah, I thought I told the shit to wait 5 more minutes, but hell, we live. Come on in here. I'm right here. I'm right here in the dark. In the dark. Numbers don't lie. People do. That's the subject tonight. Say what's up as you come up here. What's up, POV Alaska? Say what's up as you come on in. What time is it in Alaska? What's up, y'all? Nine. Oh, it's only 9 o'clock. Okay, 9:30. What's up, Jay Jimerson? What's up, Jay Jimerson? Come on in. Come on in. Fit on in. 12:30 in Texas. What's up, Tanya? Yeah, what's up, Mister? Late night Q&A with y'all. What's up, Shy Town? TD Thompson. We're gonna talk about how to lie with numbers tonight. Felix Speaks, what up? Let's get into it. See, Charlie Kirk and people like him, they, and not just him, ESPN when it comes to sports, Fox Sports, the news, the nightly news, Fox News, MSNBC, they all spend the day lying to all of us with numbers. And then they tell you numbers don't lie. Because technically numbers don't. Numbers, in order for numbers to be, they have to add up. It's just numbers. So technically they're right. In practice, they're 100,000% wrong. Because there's a difference between, it's like you have meanings. You have functional meanings and you have meanings of like in definition, you know? You have denotative and connotative meanings to everything. And the context, numbers can only tell you the truth within context. Sublud. Without context, numbers never tell the story. Numbers only tell the story with context. If somebody's giving you numbers without context, they are manipulating you. Whether it be Charlie Kirk or the used car salesman, same thing. Let me give you an example. You know, let's say you're going to go buy a car, and your budget is in the back of your mind $300 a month. But at the same time, you don't want to spend more than, say, I'm just gonna throw a number out there, $20,000 on the car. Like in your head, you thinking, okay, I want to keep a car. I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna buy a used car, and I'm gonna cap it at $20,000. You go to the car lot, and they say, okay, what do you want to pay? And then you like $20,000, and they come ahead and say, hey, well, what's your monthly budget? And you'll say $300 a month. That's my monthly budget, $300 a month. Well, they can get you a car for $300 a month. But instead of a 4-year car note to get it there, they can put you with a 6 or a 7-year car note. And you'll still have your $300 a month car note. Only thing is, after extending it out and paying the interest, you're now spending $30,000 on this car, not $20,000. It is very, very, very easy to lie with numbers, and it happens to us all the time. Now, dig. Let me give you another example. This is one I had written down. I did some calculations because I'm on my phone now, so I'm doing this. I did a couple of calculations before I came live, and I think I had my say a company says, okay, our employees, we have an average payout salary of $90,000 a year. Okay, and the average salary is $90,000 a year. That sounds good, doesn't it? Well, what if I told you five of those employees were making $500,000 a year, and the five executives made $500,000 a year each year, and the other 95 employees made $40,000 a year. Sounds a lot different, don't it? If I tell you the five executives make $500,000, $500,000 a year, and the 95 employees make $40,000 a year, in your head you're gonna be thinking, okay, I'm gonna be making $90,000 a year. No. You're only making that kind of coins if you're an executive and higher. But the average is $90,000 a year. Y'all see how that works? So Godspeed. Yeah, throwback blackout straight, right? Appreciate that. Yeah. But did y'all see how I worked that? Do y'all see how it sounds? Another example. Crime is down 50%. They'll say, okay, crime. They'll say crime is down 50% relative to last year. Okay. Well, last year you had 40 murders. This year you have 20. Well, that sounds good, but say, okay, for 10 years, a city averaged 20 murders a year for 10 years. And then there's a spike to where 1 year now is 40 murders. When that happens, you can say crime has increased 100%. And then say it spikes to 40%, and then it goes back down to 20 murders the following year. You can say, hey, I'm fighting crime because I've reduced crime down to 50% of what it was last year. Well, no, the truth is, statistically speaking, last year was an anomaly. You're usually gonna get about 20 murders a year. But I'm not gonna tell you crime increased by 100% 2 years ago. I'm not gonna do that. But I will say I decreased it by 50%. You see how that works? That's right, Jay Jemison, straight manipulation. What's up, Ja? What's up, Joe? That's why you have to look sideways at a person like a Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk wasn't a smart person. Well, I'll take it back. He was smart from the fact of he knew how to rally a crowd. He knew how to grow an audience. He was very smart from that angle. But when you listen to his debates, he wasn't smart. He just lied. He was a great liar. He knew how to lie with numbers. He knew how to lie with numbers. and knew how to pick his opposition right, my address. I want y'all to pay attention to this. Who's another person that throws out numbers? Myron Gaines. When it comes to black folks, who's another one that throws out numbers when it comes to our issues? Candace Owens. Ben Shapiro. They are numbers, numbers, numbers. Question. This is something that I thought about today. Yeah, Anton Daniels, another one. So, Rob, I want y'all to ask a Tim Pool, yep, Sinister. I want y'all to ask yourselves a question. Whether it be Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, Myron Gaines, do y'all notice they all spend a lot of time on college campuses? Have y'all noticed that Charlie Kirk and Myron Gaines, very, very, very popular with these Q&A sessions on college campus? I want y'all to ask yourselves a question. How do they get access to college campuses? Who is behind these people? Who? Let me tell you something. I'm a public speaker. To speak at a college, colleges pay pretty well, by the way, at one part. So when you see Myron and Ben Shapiro going to these colleges, probably making about anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a speech. Kirk Moore, Myron Gaines, anywhere from I'd say back 5 to 20,000 in appearance. He could easily be getting his $20,000, maybe even $30,000 appearance fee. Who is making that connection? Who's putting these guys in front of college students? How do they have that level of access? What's up, Brian? Scotty? How do they have that level of access? I've spoken at colleges, but I don't have any represent. I've only spoken at a college like twice, and that was because I knew somebody on the inside that worked there. Outside of knowing somebody, I've never spoken on a college campus. You gotta have an agency to be speaking on them college campuses. You gotta be connected to people. There's some kind of connection that's going on there. There's a bigger connection than just you. You gotta ask yourself these questions when we see these people popping up. Why is it that that oh boy, that just croaked? How did they end up on these college campuses? Who's putting them there? Some Time Walker. Charlie Kirk was a college dropout that did not understand how to interpret numbers. But he got a large following and a lot of black folks. Because for niggas, all you niggas need is somebody that articulates themselves and you just assume that they smart, especially when they white. People who pronounce the G at the end of ing. Y'all impressed by them kind of people. People get impressed by clear people that just sound smart. If you ever listen to Charlie Kirk talk, you be like, this this dude is an imbecile. Either he's intentionally manipulating these numbers, or he genuinely don't know how numbers work. I'm starting to get confused. At first, I thought this nigga definitely know. He just doing this shit on purpose. Then the more I heard him talk, I was thinking, wow, he very well could be that stupid. Yeah, Charlie was right. He was 18 and 19 when he popped up Slender and Trayvon Martin, right? No real experience in life. Yet, he's trying to teach people about workplace dynamics. Rob said, I'm thinking these people are really that dumb. He said, you grew up in Arizona. Okay, yeah. If you grew up in Arizona, brother, you was around all them hoes. But does it make sense? And you gotta question everything you hear. Gotta question. And that's another way people lie with statistics and lie with numbers. In order to get through somebody lying to you with numbers, just ask a few questions. Just keep asking questions. If they come out and say, okay, black on black crime happens because of the single parent household. Okay. Where did you read that? Can I get further more information? Was the father not home but still active in the child's life? Because there's a difference between not home and being a deadbeat. There's a lot of black fathers that aren't at home, but at the same time, they're not deadbeats. You start asking questions like that. And for those people like Charlie Kirk who like talking about the black family and shit, you're going to start to see their world of false numbers crumble down. You dig? What up, Willie Beeman? I'm not gonna be here all night, but I want to talk about that. You know how these numbers, and when it comes to numbers, we Black Americans are generally victims to whatever numbers they come up with. You say you love Myron to there be. Man, I'd kill Myron in a debate. Yeah, Myron, he did challenge Tariq. And he talks about how he was. Tariq be slapping Myron around in the debates. Myron, Myron, Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, you name them. For me, they'd all be easy work. Like Candace Owens, she doesn't know enough about American history. Like I remember when she talked to the interview she had with Judge Joe Brown. She didn't even understand the depths of the Tuskegee experiment. She didn't know about Lolo Soetoro, President Obama's stepfather. That woman is so ignorant, but she articulates herself well, and she knows a fair amount about an extremely small amount of things. So since she understands and knows a fair amount about a few things, and she articulates herself well, she gets a perception of smart. She's not that. We can do the math said per capita pink on pink crime. Huh? That's right, Willie Beeman. Candace Owens retains some useless information. That's about it. Oh shit! I drank that. You ever drink some shit down the wrong pipe? Woo! That shit went down my damn near down my windpipe instead of my esophagus. Thank God for that epiglottis to come through in the last second to stop it from going all the way down. Shit. But to show y'all how intelligent Candace Owens is, she's about to face a major lawsuit over calling the French president's wife a man. France ain't got a damn thing to do with the United States. France don't fuck with the United States. And Candace Owens last month over here raising money to pay for a lawyer because she's saying it can cost upwards of $5 million to mount a good legal defense. And to that I say, Candace, you can go to hell. How in the hell she gonna put a GoFundMe up on some shit that ain't had nothing to do with nothing? Even President Trump even called her and be like, Candace, like, leave that shit alone. And she kept going. That's a stupid motherfucker right there. They don't want it with me. Not Candace Owens. Not, what's his white boy name? Ben Shapiro. None of them. They don't want it. That's right, Mr. Hardhead making soft ass, right? You're right. Candace Owens going up against a sovereign foreign nation and a printing press. She's a stupid motherfucker for that. Now her her series on Emmanuel Macron is very interesting, but given what's going on in the world, I think that a president having a lady dude for a wife, I don't care. Yeah. Godspeed said you really test. I'm reading Godspeed's comments. Said you literally tested how restricted mode affects you. Me versus Candace Owens on YouTube an hour ago, and she is nowhere near as nerfed as I am. Yeah, get the likes up. What's up, Jax? We got to get back to listening to the substance of what things are saying, what people are saying. That's where the evidence of intelligence comes in. When you get into the substance. Like, it's certain metaphysical people who would be saying good things, but I cannot get into them because it just feels like something is off, something is missing. This, I'm not getting the whole story. Press number one if you ever felt that. You see someone online, hey, they sound good or whatever, but it's something that's missing. Press number one if you ever felt that. Yeah. Y'all know what it is. I was just reading my address's post and lost my goddamn train of thought. I'm over here reading my address. What he wrote? I lost my train of thought. What was I saying before that, chat? Before I told you I pressed number one. I'm over here reading. This is why sometimes I'll be reading y'all comments. Y'all be saying some interesting shit. Then I'll read your comments and to lose my goddamn train of thought. Why did I tell you how to press number one? This is a real high moment. I don't apologize because I feel good. Oh, metaphysical folks that don't quite, people that don't quite hit. Thank you for that. That's because people say things. Let me tell you how it works. It's like some of the old preachers used to do in church. You say a couple things that are true, but you follow it up with bullshit. Let me give you an example. When I was about 10 years ago, me and my wife, y'all remember the show Preachers of LA? We went to go see one of the, like, Pastor McClendon. He was on that Preachers of LA show. We went just for shits and giggles. And he started off saying some real shit that we need outreach. We need to connect to our brothers and sisters in Africa. This is back when I was still on Pan-African shit 10, 12 years ago. I was still on that Pan-African shit back then. He was talking about, McClendon was preaching a message on why we need to reach out to Africa and how us in the Americas, we have to show unity and donate to our brothers and sisters in Africa. And I was like, yeah. I was with him. Then a few minutes later, he came around and he said, see, and that he wasn't calling himself by his name or pastor. Pastor McClendon called himself the man of God. He was like, and he gave a whole story about how the man of God went to Africa and the man of God had, an outreach department and it was great, but, it's just one thing. The man of God had to wait and we had two layovers instead of one. Usually there's just one layover in Germany or London and then we get to Nigeria. This time the man of God had three layovers, one in Chicago, one in London. And the man of God needs to get to Africa. We thinking like, yeah. And he said, so that's why I need you guys to donate to the church so the man of God can get his own private jet. And I was like, I'm like, I'm with you on we need to help Africa. Yes. I'm with you on we need to extend a helping hand to our brothers and sisters. Yes. But that's why you need a private jet? Yes, Rondo Ellsworth, yes. He called himself the man of God. Man, me and my wife got up and left out that motherfucker. We were just going for shits and giggles. We weren't like I was like, I heard about his church. That show Preachers of LA was funny as fuck. I'm like, let's just go to a couple of these churches. And this motherfucker took a real message and turned it into something personal. That's what I mean by this, what I'm talking about. You got to listen to people for depth and knowledge and numbers. Candace Owens, people like her, people like Charlie Kirk, they'll talk to you about moralism and how we need to be moral and Christian. They use that Christian trope. Christian. And then when it comes to black people, they're no longer Christian. They use our plight and talk about the numbers, the result, but they don't talk about using Christian empathy and understanding. They don't apply Christian principles of helping and handing and serving. Jesus was a servant. Jesus washed his disciples' feet. Remember that. For all you Christian knuckleheads out there, Jesus washed his disciples' feet. Did that make sense? What's up, Sheba Noel? Your dad, Middle TV. Did the example I just gave you guys make sense? Press the number one if it made sense, or do you want me to give you another example? Or did I miss anything? Because I know I had lost my train of thought a little bit earlier. Chat room, did I miss anything? Did that make sense, or do you need another example? Let me know if you want another answer, another example. You gotta watch these people that talk about numbers and talk about this bullshit like that. It's manipulation. It's all manipulation. What's up, DMS? Oh, quick announcement, FYI. I'm about to create a new tier on Patreon. And that tier, the classes that I've been teaching before, instead of like charging you guys, $150 for 4 classes or for 6 classes and stuff like that, I'm just gonna start doing these classes directly on Patreon on a $30 a month level. I put up one couple weeks ago on the blues, how hip hop connects to the blues. But instead of me doing my next class, I'm about to do a 6-part series on jazz. We're getting ready to do a 6-part series on jazz. So instead of charging for the whole class, I'm gonna make it cheaper for you guys. Because I usually do a series of classes about 3 times a year. About 3 to 4 times a year I do classes. And like my last couple classes were about like 150. My summer school and my classes before that were like 300. I'm gonna pull back. I'm gonna charge a lot less, but I will put it on like a monthly Patreon, and I'm gonna start doing all my classes and stuff like that on that tier, so it's cheaper for y'all. I'm gonna do it like that so it's cheaper. So instead of 2 or 3 times a year, if you want me charge like 150 for a class, I'll do like 30 a month, and I'll do my classes on that tier. And remember, y'all, when it comes to my classes, it's a lot different than my YouTube. When I do my classes and courses, I provide slides and materials, books, references, and Q&As. That's the difference between when I talk about music just here on YouTube versus in my classes. In my classes, we have Q&A sessions, and there's course materials to where I do more work. Here on YouTube, I just run my goddamn mouth. My classes, I create slides and presentations for you guys. Yeah. So my next class, I'm going to start it probably mid-October. That's going to be a history of jazz. I'm going to really go through and break down the evolution of jazz in 6 weeks. Key names and shit like that. So that's a new tier that's coming to Patreon. And that'll be a lot cheaper than buying the classes. And on that tier, I'm going to put up all of my previous classes also, okay? Right now, if you're on Patreon, I've put up parts of other classes. I haven't put up a full series. Like even my 100 Years of Black American Music, the 8-week course, I think I have like 6 of those weeks up on Patreon, not all 8. This new level, I'm gonna have all of my previous classes, every single class, along with the new ones that I'm teaching. All right. Appreciate that, Jay Williams. Right, guys, be more bang for your buck. Yeah, I'm like, okay, let me just let me do it this way. Before I was basically charging $30 a class. Now it'll be $30 a month. Yeah. Jazz and blues were created around the same time. Remember, the blues, the blues wasn't, the blues as we know it now didn't exist in 1890, 1880, 1870. The blues as we know now codified around the same time as jazz we know now. The blues and jazz are brothers and sisters. You gotta see it that way. As siblings. Yeah, so gotta remember that. Yeah, so yeah, that tier is gonna really be it's really a music university tier. I'm opening it up, and those people who are on the current live interview lounge $25 a month tier, I'm gonna close that tier off, but y'all will be grandfathered in. Those of you on the $25 a month tier, y'all will be grandfathered into that higher tier, so you can keep paying your $25 a month. But if you ever cancel your $25 a month and want to rejoin, it'll be at $30. But for those of you currently on the $25 a month questions tier, y'all will be grandfathered into this new tier at your current rate. So FYI, if y'all want to be a part of that, if you think you better join that $25 a month tier now. I'm giving those of you listening now, y'all getting the hookup. Because those of you on that tier will be grandfathered into the new tier. That's going to be slightly more. All right. But like, I want y'all to notice this when I speak to y'all. Question, chat room. Do I, if Felix speaks, Brian Barnes, I look forward to seeing y'all. But when I teach y'all, when I'm talking to y'all, when I'm teaching, Do I rely on numbers? Pay attention to me. Do I inundate you guys with numbers when I'm teaching? Do I inundate you with numbers or do I explain context? Which way do I go when I teach? Do I throw a bunch of numbers out there or do I explain context and give you guys multiple angles on the same topic? What's my approach? Jay Jimerson said, explain with context. Yeah. Godspeed context, Jay, yeah, I do that on purpose. I do that on purpose. Cause I'm not here to hustle y'all. I'm not here to sound smart. I don't care about sounding smart. I care about passing on information that y'all can use. Like, this isn't listen to me, I'm smart. At the same time, I know that it's easier to amass a following by just throwing arbitrary numbers out there and intellectualizing them. That's what people like Anton Daniels do, Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens. Their game is throw numbers in your face and give you a context to the numbers that they picked and chose. Yeah, Jax, you gotta get that car ready. Book at breakthroughcars.com. Same thing with a lot of these, same thing with sports. In basketball, when you watch ESPN and the Fox Sports, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Skip Bayless doesn't know a fucking thing about basketball. That's why he has to throw you numbers. Stephen A. Smith don't know a motherfucking thing about basketball. So he has to give you numbers. And then when it comes to the former NBA players, Richard Jefferson, Kendrick Perkins, they know everything about basketball, but them stupid motherfuckers don't know anything about numbers. And that's the mix you get on ESPN. People who know numbers well and don't know shit about basketball. Or on a Saturday night game, people who know basketball well but don't know how to interpret numbers. That's what you get. That's what you get. Fuck these manipulative numbers runners motherfuckers. And I hated school too. What in the hell do I look like contextualizing a basketball game and crunching numbers when I could just goddamn turn the TV on and watch the game? Appreciate that, Godspeed. But these people, Emmanuel Acho, don't know shit about basketball. All them people on them sports shows don't know a motherfucking thing about the game. So they inundate you with numbers. And those who do know the game, the former players, they inundate them with numbers too. Because they know that them stupid niggas don't understand numbers and how they operate. You dig? Yeah. But I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. I just want to talk about that shit real quick. Not sure if I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow or not. Gotta take my little nigga Rocky to the dog groomer in the morning. Rocky gotta get his ass washed. I ain't doing that shit. Little French bulldogs think their little assholes, anal glands bled and shit. And I ain't touched no dog's ass. So I calls the groomer. Certain things I don't mind spending money on. Dog groomer, come bleed this little nigga's anal glands, cause I ain't doing it. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. But we might talk after the fight. I don't know what's gonna happen with this Terrence Crawford fight. Canelo. I don't like fighters jumping 3 weight classes. Terrence looks good physically, but let's see how his legs look after the 7th round with that extra weight. Would Terrence Crawford have the footwork necessary to stay out of the way of Canelo's punches? I think it's that fight's a farce. But either way it goes, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Win or lose, we'll talk about it, because these people are so goddamn desperate. They don't want to fight black folks on equal footing. They want to create these mismatches. Ryan Garcia on steroids, Canelo 2-3 weight divisions bigger. They want to create these extreme mismatches for black folks to fight Latinos these days. Yeah, timing is heavy. Crawford with this increased weight, I don't know. Is he gonna have his timing? I don't know. But we'll probably talk about that shit tomorrow after the fight. So we'll be here. All right. The only way we're not gonna be here, sometimes I'll get a last second call to go have some fun. So somebody called me, one of my people called me, and I'm out, and they be like, "Hey, let's meet up here." I don't know. That's the only way I won't come on live, because I might decide to go out and have some fun instead. But we'll see. Either way it go, man. I'll see y'all. I'll holla.